So disenfranchised grief is a term that's used to describe forms or experiences of grief that are not recognized as grieving or may not even be recognized as loss. We have specific, for instance, words and practices, ceremonies and expectations around certain forms of grief. We'll have bereavement cards, funerals, or rites or wakes or celebrations of life, right? We'll have expectations around, okay, you're going to take this much time off work. There's names for people who have lost a husband or a wife, right? I'm a widow or I'm a widower. Just a brief brainstorm. What are other experiences of loss and grief that we might go through that might not have names or that might not have cultural expectations or ceremonies around them? Andrea says eco-grief, the destruction of natural landscapes. Andrew says the breakdown of a relationship. Yep. Loss of a job, couple of people named that one. Good. Yep. Divorce, loss of a pet. Menopause, perimenopause, big hormonal shifts, identity shedding. Oh, diagnosis relating to your child. Sure, there might be the loss of a future story or a what if. Allie says loss of feeling of self after becoming a parent. Anna says change of a country. I'll mention pregnancy loss as well. I'll give that a name. I'll also mention children's grief. And the reason for that is that sometimes it's not necessarily just the kind of event that might be missed, that it could be a grief experience. It might also be the kind of person. We might assume that because a child is too young to understand what's happened to him or her, that he doesn't have a grief experience. Andrew says sometimes little things like moving out of a long-term home or getting a new car after having one for a long time. Yes, sometimes unexpectedly, because especially for those of you who have mentioned, different life transitions, even something that has been overall, you might describe it as a positive change, or you chose this change, right? There might still be something about it that brings up a sense of loss for you, right? For as much as your story might be changing in a direction that you had hoped for and had even worked towards, there might also be a sacrifice story there that may or may not be recognized.